Hello everyone, I will show you how you can do the intersect analysis on ArcMap and locate the Python code behind the scene. So I'm going to show you in two different ways. First one is using the from the menu you can select the intersect tool and then locate the Python code on ArcMap. Another procedure is using the model builder, and then you can develop the model and then locate the code by saving the code and open it on PyCharm. Let's see. So we are going to see how we can do overlay toolset intersect analysis from ArcMap. At first, I open a blank document. On a blank ArcMap, I'm going to locate where my GeoDatabase is. So you can see I'm trying to connect to the GeoDatabase. I'm going to copy the location where the GeoDatabase is. That's easier for me to locate the GeoDatabase. So we are going to use Malcolm Lab Research Forest data. This is actually the Lab 3 data we will be using. Copy the location, and then I'm going to keep it here and then locate. Just paste and then hit enter. You will see it's been added. Similarly, I'm going to connect my Scratch GeoDatabase where I'm going to save all my outputs. So you can see we have a Scratch GeoDatabase, and I'm going to just copy the location, and then same way I'm going to connect that folder. So you can see I connected the folder, and then that's actually I copied from the Malcolm Lab Research Forest original GeoDatabase. If you need to copy anything, you can go back to from where you are going to copy. Let's say I'm copying this one, cut block 2008, copy, and then I can paste it in here. Another way, I can copy paste and I can import the file. At first I'm bringing it into the map area, and then I'm going to import from there. So you can use single or multiple, either way it's fine. I'm going to use the multiple, and then let's say I'm going to bring in this layer. Say okay, now you will see that it's actually imported to your Scratch GeoDatabase. And you can remove if you don't need them. You can see you can just right click and then remove. Now we are going to remove the layer we just added. We can just right click and then remove the layer. Now we are basically interested to do some intersect analysis. So for intersect analysis, we will use streams and cut block 2008 layers. So you can see I showed you the process. We need to bring in these two layers, and then we have to save it on our GeoDatabase. So let's go again and say we would like to use the intersect analysis. So for the intersect analysis, if you can bring it from the geoprocessing tool and say intersect analysis, that's what we would like to do. But it would be better if you bring the data set over here. So let's say I'm bringing this cut blocks 2008 and then streams, these two layers as it's shown here. And now I'm going to use the geoprocessing tools, Intersect. So over here, I'm going to add these two streams and cut blocks. What would be the output and where you would like to save them. So let's say I would like to save them on our Scratch GeoDatabase, and then the name of the output is, let's say, cut. Give it any name, save, and say okay. Then you will see that it's going to create the intersect layers. So you can see that's the intersect layers we just created, and it's actually saved on our GeoDatabase where we have the Scratch, where we are saving our output. So you can see. Now we can see what's actually written behind the scene. So we have the intersect layer, we run some analysis, but then it is just clicking the menus. We'd like to see the code. To see the code, you need to open your Python window. So on your Python window, you can see it's not moving. Okay, so now I move to this window, and then you can see the Python console is open. I would like to see the analysis we just run, the intersect analysis. So let's go to the geoprocessing and then results. So over here you can see we run the intersect analysis. I did some before, but you can see this is the latest one. So over here, if you bring in your code, so you can see it actually used ArcMap and an intersect analysis. So in that intersect analysis, it used cut blocks and streams. As an output is saved as a shapefile, and then these are the two parameters it used. That means the output would be the same as input layer. But if you need to know more, so you can see we have the help option on the right side. So what are the parameters we used? We used input, the intersect return would be the same as geometry type as our outputs. And then we have used all the points, we didn't miss any of them. So you can see inputs, and then the output and the shapefile we just saved. And you can read all of them. You can use all, or you can omit some, or you can use some of the FID, that means some of the fields. But we used all fields, all of them. Okay. So that's how we can write and see the code over here. You can write the Python code if you want on this console. Similarly, we can create a model, and then we can see the code. To see the model, you can create a model on your ArcMap, and then we can see the code, just like I showed you in here. On the model, you can go to export and then see the Python code. Okay, so let's see in our ArcMap whether we can create some model. To create some model, at first I added a toolbox. You can add a toolbox just by right-clicking your GeoDatabase and say new toolbox. You can say new tool. So I just gave it a name. You can give it any name, and then okay. And over here, what I am doing is that I am adding a model. So in that model, I'm going to do the same work. So I need to add the intersect tool. So let's see, we have the buffer tool here, but we can bring the intersect tool from this window. So we can at first add the tool. So we are adding from the analysis tools and the overlay, and we are adding the intersect tools. So you can see we added the intersect tool, and we can bring the intersect tool in here. Over here we need to add the input. So we can insert the input. So let's say we need the cut blocks, we need the streams, cut blocks and streams we have. These are the two input layers we are going to use. You can make it larger if you want, and then you need to connect them. So let's say we are connecting with the intersect tools. This is the input features, yes, and then we need to connect this one as well and say this is the input feature. Now I'm going to save the output and locating the Scratch GeoDatabase. So you need to find where is the GeoDatabase, and then you need to give it a name. Save them, apply, and then now it's ready to go. Then you can run the model. When it's done running, you can see it says completed. Close them, and then let's see where it's been saved. So you can see it's saved over here on your Scratch GeoDatabase. And same, you can bring it to your map area. While you are done, then you can go to check the code. Go to the model and then export to Python script, and you can look at where you want to save the script. I'm just giving it a name. Say save, then look at where you save them. Let's open PyCharm and check the code over there. So that's the code I saved. I'm opening on PyCharm, so you can see I located my my folder, and then where it's saved, I opened it by double clicking. This is the code it's written behind the scene while we created the model and run the model. So you can see. If you are not sure anytime, you can always check out the code. So that's how we can run a model on ArcMap and check the code in PyCharm IDE. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.